Hello friends, welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to do a top-down analysis on gold and GJ. We'll start our analysis from the high time frame, monthly time frame, and then we'll go down to lower time frames, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, and 30 minutes on the lower time frame, 30 minutes and 1 hour. We'll also talk about some, scalping and intraday setups as well. So without wasting any time, let's get started. First of all, we are going to start with the gold. So we have the gold chart open and we are going to start with the monthly time frame. Now, as you can see on the monthly time frame, guys, price is looking pretty much bullish. Starting from here, as you can see, we are making high, 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 low. We are making high, 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 low, high, 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 low, higher, high, higher, low. Then we made kind of a double top and then the price rejected. And, we closed below the support and, the candle closed back into the range. If you see more closely, you will find that, the price here made a kind of double top here, got rejected from the upside. We closed below the support and then we closed back into the range, which was kind of a fake out on the monthly time frame. And once we closed back in, we were looking for, filling of this whole range, which the price almost did. As we can see, the last monthly candle, which is January, closed right at the resistance. We did not close above the resistance. If there was a candle closing above the resistance, there was a high probability for the price to continue higher. But right now, we had the monthly candle, we had the January candle closing just at the resistance. So now we'll have to wait for, the February candle to find us, to get us more information in order to see the price is going bearish or bullish. If we get February candle closing above the resistance, there will be high probability for the price to continue higher. If we get the, February candle closing bearish like this, then there'll be high probability for the next candle, the March candle to, continue down. Maybe this is going to be the first support and this is going to be the next support. So that will be on the monthly time frame. Now, to find out more information, what's going to happen, we'll go down to lower time frame. Now let's see what's happening on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, as we can see, price was making low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. Then we broke the previous high, we made a new high, and right now the price is pulling back. So I'm anticipating price to make a deeper pullback before we continue higher. That is what we see on the daily, on the weekly time frame. Sorry, that is what we see on the weekly time frame. Now let's see what we get on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, price looks bullish. If you just see, so as we can see, we were doing, making high highs and higher lows here. And, let's see this price section more closely on the daily here. That as we can see, the price was making, we were making high, higher, low, high, high, higher, low. So we were bullish. We made a new high. Then the price broke and closed below this support. We made a new low, right? So basically, we broke our bullish market structure on the daily time frame. So once we made this low to the downside, I was looking for some kind of deeper pullback, maybe to this area or this area, before we finally continue to the downside. But that didn't happen. As we can see, we made this low. Then there are a few, few candles, or you can see we had some kind of pullback to the upside, and then this Thursday candle closed below the support. So as we can see, price made a support here on the daily. This Thursday candle closed below the support, and once this daily candle printed below the support, I was looking for the price, on last Friday, I was looking for the price to make a top week, and once we broke this previous candle low, I was anticipating the price to continue something like this, which did not happen, to retest the support basically. That did not happen, as we can see. So right now, what's going to be the situation on the daily? So on the daily, basically we'll have to, because we can see that the Friday candle now closed bullish, but we closed bullish respecting this support turned resistance. So now still information is not clear. So a lot will depend upon how we get the next daily candle close. If we get the next daily candle, close bullish back into the range above this support, then there'll be high probability for the next candle to continue higher, at least minimum retest this high. If that does not happen and we get a bearish candle, the next daily candle close bearish, or somehow we broke this low, then there'll be high probability for the price to continue lower and retest this high. This is something we are, or I'm personally, looking and anticipating on the daily time frame. Now let's see what's happening on the low time frame, on the 4-hour time frame. What's happening? If we look at 4-hour time frame on the gold, then we can see, I'm starting from the top. Then we had this top. We made a kind of low, lower high, lower low. Then it was a kind of trickling up to the upside, but overall it was a pullback. So we made a low, we made a lower high. Then we made a new low below this low. But, as we can see, these two low are pretty close. So maybe price is just, planning to go to the upside to make a deeper pullback. Anyways, we can see price is more bearish on the 4-hour chart. So what we are looking at right now, also we can see that there is a resistance and there is a support. So now a lot will depend upon how we get the next 4-hour candle close. If we get the next 4-hour candle closing, bullish about this resistance, then there'll be high probability for the next candle to continue higher and minimum retest this high. And if that does not happen and we get a bearish candle closing below the support, then there'll be high probability for the next candle to continue lower and retest the support on the left hand side. So that will be the probability depending upon where we get the breakout, which side we get the breakout on the 4-hour time frame. Let's see on the 1-hour time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, as we can see, the price is making low. So we are kind of bearish at the moment. As we can see, personally, price made this low, lower, high, lower, low. We made kind of high and higher low. Anyways, as we can see, after this pullback to the upside, price broke to the downside. And right now we are kind of in a range, because if you consider this overall price as a resistance here, and this price as a support, so we see that the price is price on the 1 hour is in a kind of range. And again, if we also look at the 30-minute chart, then you can see on the 30-minute chart as well, price was trickling to the upside here. We were making kind of, as you can see, the price was making high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high. Then we broke below, broke all these supports and came to the downside. And right now, price is trying to consolidate in this area to plan its next move. So on the 30-minute chart, we can see there is a resistance, there is a support. A lot will depend upon how we get the next 30-minute candle close. So if we get somehow a candle closing above the resistance, there'll be high probability for the price to continue higher, minimum retest this resistance. Again, same situation will be to the downside. If we get a bearish candle closing below, we'll be looking for the price to retest, the lows on the downside. So that will be the anticipation, depending upon where we get the breakout, which side we get the breakout. So that's it about the gold. Now let's talk about GJ. Let's see what's happening on the GJ, right? GJ, we are going to start with the monthly time frame, same like the gold. As we can see on the GJ, we look bearish on the monthly chart. We made a high, higher low, lower high, higher low. So here we made the lower high, but as we can see, the lower high. But if you look at the lows, then we are making higher lows. This is the low, higher low, higher low, and we made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Then we made a high, the candle closed above the previous high, so we made a new high. Then we close below the support. So now let's look, more closely the price action on the monthly chart. So you will find out that, there was a support, price broken, closed below the support. The last monthly candle, which is January candle, closed bullish, respecting this resistance at the moment. So a lot will depend upon how the February candle is going to close. And based on that, we'll find out, more direction for the price. So right now, if we get, the February candle, closing back into the range. So in that situation, this move to the downside will become a fake out, and there will be high probability for the price to continue higher, retesting the previous high and most probably making a new high. If that does not happen and the February candle close is bearish, or we, break in February itself, we break below the previous candle, then there will be high anticipation or the probability for the price to continue lower and retest this low. As we can see, this is going to be a strong support. So that will be how we, going to close on the, the monthly chart of the February candle, how the February candle close, right? Let's see what's happening on the weekly time frame. The more information we are going to get on the weekly time frame, because the information is not clear on the monthly chart. Now on the weekly chart, we see that we are pretty much bullish. Suppose starting from here, we have the high, we have the low, we have the high, 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 low, high, 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 low. We have the high, high. Then the price broke and closed below the previous low. So we made a low. Then again we broke the high. So the original direction was the uptrend. We closed below, then again, price made a new high by closing above the previous resistance. So as you can see, we made a higher high, and right now price is here. We did not break the previous low. So price is pretty much bullish. If we look more closely, you are going to find out that this is a resistance, current resistance the price is facing. Also, we can see there is a strong support right here. So price is in a range on weekly time frame. A lot will depend upon how we get the weekly candle closing, how we break this range. If we break this range to the downside, we get a weekly candle closing below the support, there'll be high probability for the price to retest this low. As we can see, also this is going to be a support on the monthly time frame. If that does not happen, we get a weekly candle closing bullish above this resistance, then there will be high probability for the price to retest the previous high. So that's going to be the situation depending upon which side we get the weekly candle breakout, right? Now let's see what's happening on the daily. On the daily, as we can see, price is looking a little bit bearish at the moment. Starting from here, we have the low, lower high. So we have the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. As we can see, we should look at more like like a range on the daily. The price is making low and high, because we should consider this whole area as a one zone resistance and this area as a support, right? So by looking at this, we'll find that the price is in a range at the moment. So again, a lot will depends upon if we get a candle closing above this resistance, there'll be high probability for the price to retest this high. If a candle closing below this support, there'll be high probability for the price to retest this low. So a lot will depends upon how we get the candle closing. So suppose we get the candle closing above this resistance, there'll be high probability for the price to continue higher to the next resistance. Same way, if we get the candle closing below this support, there'll be high probability for the price to continue lower to retest the previous lows. So let's see what happens on the lower time frame here. So let's go to 4-hour time frame and see what's happening on the 4-hour time frame, right? On the 4-hour time frame, if we see, so I'm taking this highest point, recent highest point, right? So starting from here, we have the low, we have the lower high, lower high as compared to the previous high. Then we made kind of lower low, and the price is kind of trickling to the upside. So this price on the 4-hour is bearish as long as we respect this previous high. So the price may be trickling up to finally go to the downside. Anything can happen. We'll have to wait and see what is going to happen, but we can see that the price looks more bearish than the bullish. More information we are going to find out on the lower time frame. On the lower time frames, let's see what is happening on the 1-hour chart. So as we can see on the 1-hour chart, price was kind of going up, making higher highs, higher low, kind of moves. Then finally price broke and closed below the supports on the left hand side. We made a low. Again, right now price is trickling to the upside. The information is not much clear, but we can see that the price looks more bearish than the bullish, right? So if we go to 30-minute chart again, we can see that there is a little bit more information. Starting from the highest point, we have the low, lower high. Price made a low, and again we are kind of trickling to the upside, but still price is bearish on the 30-minute as long as we respect this previous high. So price might be trickling to the upside before finally go to the downside. If we look more closely, we will find that the price is having a support, and there is a resistance at the moment. So if you look at the 1-hour chart, you find that the support is right here, and 2-hour support is right here, and 4-hour support is already right here. So although it is a little bit tricky, but yes, there is a possibility that if we a probability that if we get a candle closing below the support, there is during a high volume time London session or the New York session, if we get a candle closing below, there can be a high probability for the price to continue higher to lower and retest the previous low. The same way, if we get a candle closing above the resistance during high volume session, London session or the New York session, there is high probability for the price to continue higher and retest the previous low. So these are the probabilities depending upon if we get the candle closing above below the range during a high volume session. So that's it, guys. This was the small analysis on the gold and GJ from the monthly to the 30-minute time frame. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you really did like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel to support the channel and YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much. See you in another video.